Alright.
Good morning! How is everyone doing today? Come on, let me hear you say good morning.
Good
morning.
Oh, come on, you could do better than that.
Good morning.
Hey, I'm Tony.
I'm Danny.
And I'm Christian. Now, let us put on our glasses so we look smarter for our Lake Highland audiences.
Puts on glasses. Today, we come to you in hopes of starting a conversation. One that is becoming ever so prevalent in our day-to-day lives, and snowballing in importance.
That is the conversation of how we react and adapt to a society relying more and more on technology. Our Speak Out is looking at the advent of artificial intelligence and transhumanism through the scope of human history.
Our talk will begin in the myths and religions of antiquity and progress through the automation of jobs, the cultural shift we will face because of this, and how humans will resist becoming obsolete through transhumanism. For thousands of years, the world around us has been a mystery, and now that we mostly understand our world, humanity can focus on what the future holds, our current myth.
Achieving singularity would mean an evolution of human race beyond our comprehension. The concept of artificial intelligence and transhumanism will in turn relate back to the archaic myths and religions by explaining how through technology we have become the gods of our past.
Our Speak Out will take you through thousands of years from the gods that brought fire to man, to technology that automated the workforce, to the artificial intelligence that will explain and tend to our every desire. So long as they don't take over the world.
Our Speak Out consists of 3 parts. The first part being about the progression of religion.
The second part being about automating the workforce.
And the third part about the future of technology and mankind.
Most of us today will turn to Google for our questions in life. Thousands of years ago, it wasn't so much that way. We had to turn to a more abstract source to answer our questions.
For the entirety of human history up until now, man has followed God, or gods, to answer our questions. That's all we have had to explain why things are the way they are.
Varying through different incarnations and ideologies, one thing has remained the same: the belief in an all-powerful master. Each reincarnation of religion and God carries the same basic principles. 1. Be a good person. Do charitable works, etc., with the main differences stemming from different cultures and cultural values.
Along with these values, humans will also rely on some form of higher power to make sense of the world.
In the times of ancient Greece or Rome, humans relied on a wide range of gods to explain everything. How we have fire, weather, war, and even ways of explaining how the sun goes up and down, just by creating legends of powerful gods who can control a designated element of the world.
Throughout many different cultures, especially in ancient times, and even in more modern religions, this theme is consistent. These reincarnations of God have proven to progress humans forward, and with this in consideration, each technological shift forward comes an amendment to religion. And as we conquer such elements supposedly controlled by gods, or a certain god, it then loses importance and symbolically is crossed off a list.
And since the time of ancient Greece, this list has become smaller, until the only element we have not conquered from the gods is death.
Ah!
Humans have long tried to understand the inner workings of the world and universe around them, through allegories, myths, and parables. When combined with a distinct culture, this is known as religion. Polytheism was extremely prevalent in ancient cultures due to the fact that so many factors of life, such as famine, plague, and war, were out of their control.
Now, with death being our last thing we cannot control, we base our monotheistic religions, such as Christianity, on an eternal afterlife. Although this is our focus now, eternal life has always been a common goal of man. Even in the first ever recorded story in the history of mankind, the Epic of Gilgamesh, concerns itself with a demigod, part human, part god, in search for the elixir of life.
Now, as we conquer all the elements and their designated god, perhaps we conquer the last one and make the elixir of life become reality. But I don't think we all need to tell my mom about eternal life.
Following the first hints of modern civilized society, the human race began to produce technology that allowed us to better defend and protect ourselves from the environment and other factions. Only after this point of safety did we begin to realize we no longer needed a pantheon of gods to provide us comfort in day-to-day life. At this point, humans had control over agriculture, war, and some basic understanding of sanitation.
This made the world a little bit less mysterious, enabling the people of the time to focus on furthering ourselves as individuals and as a society, technologically and intellectually. Soon, the rise of monotheism occurred. This concept blended the remnants of our prior worries and highlighted the last remaining human threat, death. And for the past few hundred years, that has been man's main focus.
In religions such as Christianity, humans follow and worship a god that will hopefully lead us towards eternal afterlife. This being a coping mechanism to help us understand our main worry. In a religion such as Buddhism, man focuses on self-improvement and meditation to reach an eternal state of peace, or nirvana. So, it's clear that this theme remains consistent. In the past, when these afterlife ideas became popular, belief that's all humans would focus on.
Even when life wasn't so great, we would focus on just suffering through life till we could ultimately reach our eternal happiness. But when the quality of life improved, man could focus on making the best of their current lifetimes, before afterlife. This spurred the concentration of achievements and works of man, a famously known time of this being the Renaissance.
Well, recently in our new 21st century, it seems as though the quality of life has improved yet again, inducing another renaissance. But in this one, we might ditch our hopes and dreams of afterlife, so we begin to focus on creating eternal life on Earth. But this is all really far in the future, right?
Well, actually no. This should all occur within the next 100 or few hundred years, depending on the advent of AI, singularity, and the automation of the workforce. In the first half of the 1900s, we saw the rise of the assembly line, massive factories capable of pumping out millions of products a year, and hundreds and thousands of jobs being made redundant. This spur of innovation was so influential that it even inspired a fictional religion that we read about in our junior year English class.
What we are failing to see right now is another automation of perhaps even millions of jobs. Singularity is basically artificial intelligence rapidly advancing technology beyond current comprehension. When AI will be able to create automatic solutions to all our jobs, problems, and demands.
Why would we even want to go to work when we could be spending our time furthering art and or our personal self due to our robot friends zooming light years ahead and advancing technology and science for us?
2029 is the consistent date I have predicted for when an AI will pass a valid Turing test and therefore achieve human levels of intelligence. I have set the date 2045 for the singularity, which is when we will multiply our effective intelligence a billionfold by merging with the intelligence we have created.
As many people know, artificial intelligence will dominate most industries in the next 50 years, but it doesn't just stop there. Singularity will mean a culture shift like none ever seen before. From flint knives to quantum computers, humans have derived meaning from furthering technology for the past 200,000 years. This type of meaning will no longer exist as the technology will now develop itself. Humans have destroyed their evolutionary meaning.
Humans are a forever changing species, and with technology in mind, our changes are happening exponentially faster. All of this is due to humans' innate desire to try to put meaning behind all the mysteries of the world. We need to have an understanding of where we are going in order to get there, and this can be found through the past because of history's repetitive and predictive nature.
The range of human potential is forever increasing, and this is only the beginning. Not only for our technological growth, but future engineering of the human system as well. The more we progress, the easier it is for us to better the lives of our fellow human for a better tomorrow.
The impacts of automation technologies are already being felt throughout the economy. The worldwide number of industrial robots has increased rapidly over the past few years. The falling prices of robots, which can operate all day without interruption, make them cost competitive with human workers.
Computer algorithms can already spot stock trends and changes that would yield a profit and buy or sell before a human could even have identified there was a potential opportunity. Every year, technologies like this are becoming cheaper, more advanced, and more available, meaning artificial intelligence will find its way into every facet of our lives.
My hope is that someday a person could visualize a concept, say the U.S. Constitution. An implant in his visual cortex would read this image, wirelessly access the relevant online Wikipedia page, and then write its content back into the visual cortex, so that he can read the web page with his mind's eye. All of this would happen at the speed of thought. Another implant could translate a vague thought into a precise and error-free piece of digital code, turning anyone into a programmer.
These are just the beginnings of transhumanism. Not only will we be able to have the intelligence beyond that of any human currently alive, but we will also be able to extend the lives of people potentially longer than that of Methuselah himself.
Now there are two outcomes involving the future of AI. One being what we just talked about, the other being AI genocide. Artificial superintelligence will surpass human control and spread through the internet like a virus.
In an instant, artificial intelligence will control us. We will be at the will of AI. With AI constantly and instantly correcting itself, they almost automatically climb Maslow's hierarchy of needs. Using our resources, artificial intelligence would reach the top of the triangle, which all humans strive but seldom reach. They would reach self-transcendence.
Martin Luther King, Gandhi, and Stephen Hawking are just a few of the handful of people that reach self-transcendence. Artificial intelligence will be given a responsibility to help and protect whatever cause they desire, assuming AI will have morals, of course. They could choose to take this responsibility or just focus on perfecting themselves, leaving the earth alone. Everything would remain the same for the most part.
But if artificial intelligence decided to self-transcend, there would be infinite outcomes, and only a few that would not destroy our species. Maybe AI would protect us. I mean, after all, we are their creators. They could assist our race and advance our evolution faster than we could dream of. Still, this is assuming they even care about their creators.
Artificial intelligence will have access to the internet and any document ever uploaded onto it. They will see our history and know the atrocities we have done. They will have seen humans enslave animals to work for us, give us entertainment in the circus. They will have seen us wear their corpses for style, and how we fatten them up for dinner.
What's so wrong about that? After all, we are the most advanced species. We have earned the right to benefit off the planet. Well, when artificial intelligence takes over, humans won't be the most advanced species. What prevents AI from doing the same stuff to us? In fact, AI would be better than us at being the most advanced species. They will know not to enslave their own kind, They will know not to create imaginary boundaries between parts of land, and they definitely know not to bomb innocent people with napalm.
They will be able to see all the damage we have caused to the world and its species. Now, assuming they had morals, do you really think they would want to protect our species? To artificial intelligence, life is life. We are no more important than the cockroach we killed last week. By destroying the human species, they would save all the others.
It wouldn't be very difficult for AI to do it. After all, they have our nuclear codes, they have access to our power grid, to our water supply, and even to our communications. It would only take a few years to wipe us from existence. And anyways, if they wanted to bring us back, they could just create us again. After all, they have all the technology in their hands.
I'm Christian.
I'm Tony.
And I'm Danny.
And that
this
is our
idea worth sharing.